And suddenly the news on the internet began to explode with Windows 11. What is this? Windows 10T, install it on the computer that you want. The Lite version of Windows 11. One Windows 11, much lighter for the modest computers with 2 gigabytes of memory RAM. A lighter modified version of Windows 11. Tiny is a reduced version of Windows 11 aimed at low-income computers. Tiny11 modified version of Windows 11 that works with 2 gigabytes of RAM and takes up only 8 gigabytes of disk space. I think if you are only going to use the operating system, it is fine, but you have to remember that it is not only the system you are going to install. Programs, applications, games, and a lot of things that will surely exceed those 8 gigabytes. It is a promise of lightweight Windows 11 Lite, and follow the news. TNT has 11, the advanced operating system, and Windows 11 for computers with only 2 gigabytes in RAM memory. And with computer today, he also says the same without useful software. For basic computers, Windows 11 without useless software that only needs 2 gigs of RAM to work on old computers. All these news offers a super Windows Lite with only 2 gigs of RAM that you don't need TPM, security code, or anything like that, but they forget something important. If your old machine has a 32-bit architecture processor, you will not be able to use Windows 11. Windows 11 for more humble computers, they confuse humility with poverty, and not only that, here it says Windows 11 with that we all dream of. Well, I would not dream of this, that would be a nightmare. Welcome to Techno PC Sistemas Operador. We begin with the installation process of the operating system called Tiny11, which takes approximately 6 minutes to complete a complete installation up to this screen where we choose our region. Approximately 6 minutes. It's quite fast on a computer with 2 gigabytes of memory RAM. We can choose a name with or without a password. It does not require a Microsoft account, and when the installation is finished, this is the initial presentation. A completely clean system visibly to which we are going to install the Vanguard tools to increase the resolution so that you can better enjoy once this little review has been restarted. We already have a better resolution, and we are going to see what this operating system offers us, which several news outlets and websites, both European and one or the other, have promoted before, starting with everything. Let's see what the operating system is build. In the version we have Windows 11 Professional Build 22621.525. When today, I think we are already at 0.11.95. We are going to try to add a language where it being started. We are going to choose Spanish. Ecuador. We select the settings we require, and we are going to default it as the default language of our operating system. Starts the process installation, which can take a while, and you have to have a little patience. Once the language is installed, the computer restarts, and we can verify that the system within the desktop as well as its control panel settings, among others, are in Spanish, or at least most of the things I see are in Spanish. And the application sections in these are the applications that the operating system comes with by default. It has almost nothing. beyond the basics and the main thing, except Visual C++, which was installed along with the big tours. Then we have a camera calculator, the Edge that we installed in the store, that if it brought by Teams, it brings Wear IDs. Very basic tools. If we access other applications, we can also see that the menu is practically clean of blockware applications and others. What I have is a curiosity. It will be that the store works. We are going to try. We are going to update the store, we are going to the library, and we are going to give it a click on update. Apparently the store started to update all the apps without any problems. Stores restarted because of this. Access the library again, and we check if more applications are still being updated, or if we have to update manually. But from the moment the store was updated, it continues to work. Good time, everything. Apparently it was updated without any inconvenience, as this operating system does not include browsers of any kind, not even Microsoft's own. We are going to try to install from the store, so okay. We open the store, we look for the Microsoft, we sent it to install. Its installation began in good time. It has allowed us to execute it, customize it, and work with it. We are going to try to install other browsers such as Firefox, and later the browser called Brave. As this system is promoted for computers that have processors of a minimum gigahertz and 2 gigabytes of RAM, well, Brave would be a great option, although we all know that when you use any browser, regardless of how light a system may be, the browser will always consume resources, especially RAM memory. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel of Techno PCs and Ecuador Systems. We have a lot of content that will help you, and you will like many technical, theoretical, practical, and scientific videos. There's a little bit of everything. Let's see what happens with the Brave browser. It would be that we install this browser that would come in handy with the Lite operating system. We have a score of 4.3 stars. The rating is quite high, and it is highly valued by the vast majority of users, since it also has privacy functions, and currently the new version has a navigation function through the door network to have greater anonymity. It has been installed perfectly, and we can already use it. Here we can see in the task manager how to see the consumption of resources while we are working on this operating system. We open the browser and RAM memory, obviously. It is going to shoot with YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. That channel is completely free. And everything there is, and everything here is done with love for all of you. We are going to open our network server, and we are going to install an application. What if we try it with Office? It will be installed. Let's try. This is the 2021 Professional Plus version, made original Microsoft, official, not any modified, adapted, or customized or anything. We always use it, we install it at all times, and it's never given us problems, but it will be that in this version of Windows, because it is lithiated or gutted. It works, we will wait. We will see that the browser is working without any problem. We see that an Office apparently is being installed. We have 2 gigabytes of RAM on the computer, but there's a detail that while we are watching the video that is there in the thumbnail, an Office is installed at the same time, or at the same time, the video begins to have certain lags. We're going to speed up a lot here. We're going to put the turbo boost to the video to speed up the installation. But see, does not advance, it's hard. Let's start at the half. I see that no app has been installed in the start menu. It doesn't do anything. Installing it over the network and the connection it's consuming almost nothing in the network service. The program is active, it is not hanging, nothing. I can even access the network without problem. The network is active and the drive is mounted. We see here the system DVD that is mounted and should work, but it is not working for me because it's consuming network resources. It stopped installing in this operating system. What do you think could have happened? Is it because the system lacks certain elements? It makes it difficult for me to install some applications. Okay, we're going to close it. It does not respond, it does not work. The system is not working. It says that the updates are in progress phase. Do not turn off the computer. So okay, we are going to give it a little bit of a chance. But this, I have to force restart the computer, like pressing the reset button. Because it took a lot of time to try to restart. So I've begun force restarting. Office installer has automatically reloaded to continue. I'm going to finish it and we're going to review the rest. I see that the majority are system services. There's nothing strange. It is no longer consuming the resources. Okay, everything apparently it is within the normal parameters. But it makes me curious. The Office was not installed. The process did not complete the installation. That is also worrying. Updates were not installed, and we will see here. There is no system restore function. There is no system restore, gentlemen. Unfortunately, the computer has a problem. You will not be able to restore it to a previous point. Nor will you be able to create restore points. We open the control panel and we can verify that there are no restoration options. Although in the control panel it says to create a restore point, the window that contains the function has been eliminated. And here I have the other window that does have the system protection. The system report function allows me to create a restore point and use it when necessary. But this Tiny11 operating system does not bring it. Unfortunately, gentlemen, it does not have a system restore point. Worth to. We're going to update the detection of printers again. Let's see if it was detected. It has detected two, the Epson and the Xerox. We're going to install the Xerox. It is connected to the equipment and network. It is installing it, and it did it apparently well. It is completing the process without problem. The network works, and we are going to try to connect to a network drive as well. Apparently it did, and yes, there it is. The drive was connected in network. The Xerox printer, which is a multifunction laser, has just been installed perfectly. We have so far the operating system that was installed. Like, I want to make this comparison before continuing. This is from the Tiny11 control panel that shows us some restoration options, but when you access or open these functions, the system does not have them. It does not have the creation of recovery media or anything like that. Restoration is the only thing that there are. No more, gentlemen, on the side. If you are one of those who are cautious and like to have the system with the store points and the like for security reasons, this system does not work for you. Here we have the control panel of our host or our physical equipment. and we see that it has backup copies or restoration security. We can restore the equipment from an image, from a copy, restore data, among others. There are more options. I even see that I have internet options, and Tiny11 does not have them. That is to say that I need to configure my browser with internet options or parameters. Other than those, I need orders, for which I am sorry, I will not be able to do them. Look, it does not have many functions. The control panel lacks some elements that the control panel of my system does have. If you saw it, we are going to accommodate these. The great difference in content that my control panel has from my house computer or from the Windows operating system and the control panel of a gutted operating system. I recommend this operating system. I think that in the end we will reach that conclusion. The updates will be installed. Let's try it. Microsoft Defender antivirus level security updates are being downloaded. Cumulative updates for the Microsoft NAT framework, and I see that there are some updates also cumulative for the operating system itself. We have version 22.621.525. The updates are installed. It should also scale the build. This is rare. 4 have been completed and 2 are pending. We're going to reboot for sure. During this stage along, it is better to install them. Let's verify again. It restarted without any inconvenience. This time it did not have to be forced restart of the operating system, and it has shown me the desktop with Toba normally. We open configuration, we go to Windows Update, and we see 2 community updates have remained. You're going to get the community system and a security update. How about we manually download the community update and try to install it on our own? So with the code or number or the name of the update in the Microsoft catalog, we're going to download it manually. We got the download update. I see that it's doing nothing to the Windows Update system. It will be that the Windows Update has hung and we are going to open it again, check again while it. Yeah, it does nothing. Let's send the update to be installed manually. Copying the packages from the cache from Windows, and it's the famous folder called Software Distribution that is inside C Windows. There will be find this folder I just mentioned. The updates that are going to be installed later in the operating system are unzipped. I do not install it separately. This process took 15 minutes. It's average. I should have done it much less time. It didn't install the update automatically through Windows Update, nor did it do it manually. This means that updates are not installed, but I do see that the translation of the operating system has improved. Remember that it originally comes in English. We put the package in Spanish, and I see that it has translated more things about the operating system in a better way and beyond just the desktop. What else can we review within this rather curious system to which the media are giving fame while criticizing other operating systems? It's like the end of the hypocrisy. These updates are not installed. Unfortunately, we cannot install them. They cannot be installed. And why? Because when an operating system is missing parts or components, you cannot simply download and reinstall, because the operating system lacks these components in the original build, from the original build, and it's not as easy to rebuild what was ripped off. So when you download an update and this update tries to update the system components, the update will detect that this is missing, that this can't be installed, I can't do it. I'm off to throw an error, and that's in the update. It gives an error. We retry the office installation again. Apparently it is continuing with the process through the virtual installation medium that we have there. That would it be that it succeeds? Meanwhile, I give my point of view. I think that although, as I said, I repeat it, the European medium that get excited when the white folks make a system like this, because they have given it a lot of promotion and publicity, but have not commented on the risk of using this type of system. But they promote it as an operating system suitable and valid for all users. Computers that have 2 gigabytes of RAM. I am testing in a virtual machine with 2 gigabytes of RAM memory, and we are having some details. It is when you do more than one activity, the system has certain lags or starts to freeze up. Second, it does not have internet browsers, and it does not have its own Microsoft Edge. It does not have a system restore or backup copies either, and you can't create restore media, and it does not have the option to install cumulative updates, and it takes too long to reboot when installing initial updates or initial configuration languages, updates, etc. It takes too long. It cannot upgrade to a higher version or pro community updates, but what it has let us do it. It's good to see what the professional version is. It allowed me to install the Bangor tool without any problem. I was able to install the language package without any inconvenience. We had the opportunity to use the Microsoft Store to update it. And through it, install the internet browsers. We were able to install a printer, and we were able to also connect to network storage drives. And Windows Defender, if updated through a Windows update. I hope with that everyone comes to their own conclusion and decides what to do with it. In the end, I think the operating system, it could be quite useful in those computers with quite limited resources. As I had commented, the minimum requirements to be able to use it are a 1 gigahertz processor. It must necessarily be a processor that supports 64 bits, so it doesn't matter having a computer from the year if your processor does not have a 64-bit support technology or 64-bit architecture. So that is a condition that all old equipment has. One gigahertz minimum and 2 gigabytes of RAM and 8 gigabytes in storage. You will not enjoy everything that the operating system can offer, but you will be able to use it in basic equipment for basic tasks like, I know, an internet cafe, voting machines, and you need to put them to work. Well, we can use this operating system to put those equipment to use. That they can print, they can browse, they can download. Whatever you need to do, there's no problem. In the same way, you can use it in those old or basic computers too, in which you cannot put such a complete operating system full of things, but rather it is well reduced, well trimmed, in which are you going to dedicate only to play, installing games, to office automations, or what do I know? Or your grandmother, your mother, your relatives have old computers that they do not want to change because there's no money, because they can't, or because they don't want to, and the computer is slow. You can use this type of system, Lite or gutter. I do not recommend putting on client equipment because you can get into big problems with them. Let's remember that occasionally in corporate business companies, if you install them and they have problems, you won't know how to solve them without formatting, and that's when the problems begin. Not only technical, but also that you could get into legal trouble. With this, I just finished my review. Personally, the operating system has seemed super fast to me. Yes, it seems very fast to me. It works quite decently. It looks very light, very agile in execution, installation of the system, and later of applications and others. It doesn't allow me to install Office, and it has still stayed there installing it. It stayed there, it doesn't install it. I didn't install Office 2021 that we wanted to put. Surely we could install the lower version. We would have to do those tests. Or if you do them, I would love for you to comment. I wouldn't put this to my clients under no circumstances unless the client agrees to the terms and conditions, if he knows and wants this type of system to be installed. Disclaiming all responsibilities. Obviously, he should not make companies, not corporate ones. And he has to take advantage of those old equipment that can be used, for example, by the billing cashier team to use it in cyber. This is perfect to use in simple and basic things, nothing critical. The task manager shows me that the network is at 0. I'm installing Office through the network, and here in this operating system essentially stops. It stopped the installation, it's not consuming resources, it is not doing it, and where that stops me from using it. And obviously I don't like lights or gutted, so the rest is your own responsibility and discretion. And I hope you tell me in the comments how it went with you guys, what they could do and what they could not, if you had problems.